It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Aha. Now you sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Good evening to you. Good afternoon to you. Good morning to you from wherever you're watching from. This is Maiyegun.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ ṣe o kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tójódodo.
Thank you so much. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends and your not so friendly friends. Tell them Ani Esunraki.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú Esunraki.
Thank you so much. Toluwa logo. Jesus is mine. Thank you.
Lórí Facebook. Ani Esunraki. Lórí YouTube. Ani Esunraki.
It's going to be an interesting night as Nigeria former president Olusegun Obasanjo came out clean and clear yesterday when he was answering questions from the people, and he said this. I think we should use that, right? So that we can take it on from there. Obasanjo is a Yoruba man, a former president of Yoruba extraction, and we, the Yorubas, asking that the current arrangements or the current Nigeria arrangements, the structural arrangement of Nigeria has contributed so much to the underdevelopment of the Yoruba people. In fact, so shortchanged, like many other ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. But when we have on record that those who have contributed to that underdevelopment, contributed to that, to that imbalance, was a Yoruba man, and he gave his reasons. Here is what he said.
But one thing I believe we all have in common, Nigeria. One thing that we have in common, Nigeria. Ijo nation, if you like. I have never used Yoruba nation, and I will never. Because I believe that my Nigerianness is bigger than my Yorubaness. And neither my Yorubaness nor my Nigerianness should stand in the way of each other. For me, my Nigerianness is very important because I am more than what I should have been as a Nigerian than as an Oduduwa Republic man. And I believe that that should be the case for every one of us.
Nigeria is personal to so many people for so many reasons. One of them is what they have become by projecting Nigeria as their country. But the question is, how many of us have that same privilege to say, Nigeria means this to me because of this and that, like Obasanjo? Not many of us. He said he wished it on the rest of the country, like all Nigerians, to feel that way, which is great, lofty, beautiful idea that they always profess, but they never really implement. Now, implementing it is going to be another thing entirely. There's another thing to wish. There's another thing to do. Then there's another thing to take responsibility, whether you do good or you failed. I'll tell you something. One Nigeria means a lot to Nigeria politicians, retired generals, because they were those who shared the spoils of Nigeria. When I say the spoils, everything in that country is owned by them. After they forced the entire country to become one, forcefully, that they would never be able to manage, then share them, territory by territory, resources by resources, and this is so vital to them, to people like Obasanjo. They had the opportunity to let everybody have the same experience like them, that will make them have something as an attachable, something that attaches them to Nigeria, like Obasanjo. It is not all, not all Nigerians are lucky to have a government use law and force to take people's lands and call it government's land and then reallocate them to themselves. Choice properties, choice lands all over Nigeria, including the oil wealth. So they have managed, right, to privatize the people's wealth. And that is personal to them. Not all of you have that same luxury, because Obasanjo and gang did not make that happen. How then do they want people to continue to attach themselves to a country that is so polarized with impunity? This selfishness, so divided that even Obasanjo himself and his co-travelers, they agreed that Nigeria has failed, especially under this Buhari. But according to them, there's so much for them to lose. If Nigeria should go back to either regionalism, or if Nigeria should break up entirely. Because today, Obasanjo is a citizen of the world. Why? He led the country, Nigeria, for 13, how many years? For 11 years. First as a military head of state, then as 8 years as civilian president, who did absolute nothing but to, what do you call it? To glorified corruption in a different way that he himself will never admit. Same way Buhari came to legalize corruption in his own way, as he believes something is likely going to be talking about in years to come, like Obasanjo, and he will tell you how much Nigeria means to them. Obasanjo had an opportunity. If for no other time, it was in 2005 when Nigeria issue came to a boiling point, not as bad as this. Opportunity. A Yoruba man. Not selfish, not because I don't really want to go deep into Obasanjo's failure as president yet. But this particular one stands out when it comes to a boiling point, when people said they've had enough. Let's have a sovereign national conference. That's the same thing people are asking for today. Let's have a sovereign national, let's have a national dialogue. This is not working. But you know one thing, every time they have that chance, somebody in power whose selfish interest will always override the general interest will always be in that position to rubbish that. And that started with Obasanjo under this dispensation. Democracy. 2005. We didn't know that Obasanjo was actually funding his own third-term agenda. That was why he agreed to the Sovereign National Conference of 2005, where people came and they said, you know what? This Nigeria is not working. This state by state, no. Right? Let people control their resources. Let all the regions do their thing. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to that. They submitted their report to Obasanjo because that report didn't come with third term, like life president. As long as you win an election, you can always be president of Nigeria. So that's the vital point of that conversation, the division, the differences, the forceful union remain forceful union. The differences remain differences that they could only use to continue to hold everyone together. We need to do our best for Nigeria. We need to work. We have to be patriotic. Everybody is not just government. Everybody needs to do their part. Meanwhile, the people that are really saddled with the responsibility of keeping us safe, keeping your money safe, curbing corruption, and the rest, they are neck deep, body deep in the same thing. They want you and me to be patriotic enough to stand against. What do I mean by that? People came together, they said, this is not working. Obasanjo through, I bet that report has already gathered enough dust, if they still have it, in their presidential office in Abuja. It started with Obasanjo. Then, another failure of the same Obasanjo was that he knew Nigeria was completely fractured. They all knew. He was the only person who had the audacity to sack majority of all those military personnel that supervised this emergency as president. He was the only one who took that. He took that risk and he got away with it. Yet, he had no plan for any successor. He had no plan for any future. He had no plan for whatever even he himself felt like was the good thing for Nigeria. 8 solid years. Personal interest, selfish interest that overrode the general interest. Obasanjo, that same Baba Obasanjo, he couldn't find any good, reliable successor within PDP. You know the story, until he brought a Sikh Yaradua, which according to the conspiracy theorists, they said the plot was drag Yaradua into it. If he falls so sick, that he dies during the campaign, the constitution allows that the election must be postponed by a year. And then until, you know what I mean, until they feel like they can find a replacement for him, then the election can be postponed for another 1 year. So Obasanjo could stay in power for an extra 2 years. Now, conspiracy theorists said that more. They said that was why they dragged Yar'Adua into it. That was the man who thought the future of Nigeria should be where everyone has the same thing he has. But it's not true. It's all about selfishness. And you know, don't let us even go into the endless assassination, political assassination under this man that started with Bola Ige, Funshaw Williams, and so maybe Ari Sekibo or Dekibo, Mashahari. So many people who tried to cross Obasanjo line, and then they paid with their lives. No joke, let me say, during that time, just like what you have now. He brought somebody who had no plan or anything related to whatever Obasanjo had as the next president. That was Yar'Adua. Jonathan, that was so lucky that Obasanjo has managed to help them chase Alamesia away. He was preparing to be governor of Bayelsa State. Obasanjo dragged him there. So that, according to people, he could still be in control for that future Nigeria that is now gone. That Obasanjo is not proud to be called a Yoruba man from Yoruba nation, because Nigeria gave him something that the Yoruba nation would never give to him. But whatever Nigeria gave to Obasanjo, how many Yoruba young people are going to have the same opportunity like Obasanjo among the millions that came after him, now that he is in his 80s? Last, the ship of PDP collapsed in 2015. And when you look at all the players, Obasanjo was involved, talking about the future of Nigeria. Now, his involvement in 2015, still, you know, about Nigeria, whatever we feel like, we should always, like, you know, because Obasanjo and gang, they know better. Nigeria gave them life. Nigeria gave them energy, oxygen that they breathe with. But how many other young Nigerians, Yorubas, Igbos, Hausas, Fulanis, has Nigeria snuffed lives out of? The same oxygen that Obasanjo breathed with, the same oxygen that Babangida is breathing with, the same oxygen that Abdul Salami is breathing with, the same oxygen that Jonathan and the rest of them are already breathing with as we speak. Why the same oxygen is being snuffed out of the lives of thousands of Nigerians? 2015, he got involved. And 7 years after that, this is what Obasanjo had to say. Let us give the credit again to Channels Television, who gave us this clip. Listen.
But one thing I believe we all, in 2011, I went to Maiduguri and I was put in contact with Boko Haram leadership. And I asked the man who was intimidating, what do you think is the foreign involvement with Boko Haram? And he said, maybe 10–15%. I said, how do you come to that? And he said, well, we know them, we know what they bring in, and the people, not much. And that time, it will have been easy to deal with the issue of Boko Haram. Today, the foreign involvement is more than 50%. So it has grown beyond what we can say we deal with quickly. But then, there's still room for dealing with it. But somebody said, Yes, we do not need the president, the governors, and the legislatures. We can assemble. Yes, we can assemble. We have assembled here. But there is the aspect of legislation that I have mentioned. We cannot legislate. We can assemble, we can meet, we can recommend, we can appeal, but we cannot legislate. And that is why we must go to them, we must carry them along, and the senator is here, he's right. And he cannot do it alone. And it is also our responsibility to do what we need to do, to involve and to carry those who have responsibility to do what they need to do in the best interest of our country and our nation. Now I come and I end up, drop the ball. Almost anywhere I go, people will say, well, Nigeria is not at the table. And that is the truth. Oh yes, Nigeria is not at the table. About a week ago, I was coming from Gambia, where I've gone to observe the election on behalf of the Commonwealth. And when I got to Togo, Lomé, the president of Togo was waiting for me, and he took me to his house, where I met the former president of Niger, President Issoufou. And they sat me down and said this and that and this and that. Some of the questions they asked me, I cannot answer, because it borders on what they expect Nigeria to do, which they found Nigeria not doing. And how do I answer that? What do I say? So at the end I said, I hear you. And when I get home, I will see what can be done. But when I get home, I won't see anything. That's the truth. Because the truth is this. President Buhari has done his best. That is what he can do. If you expect anything more than what he has done and what he's doing, you are kicking a dead horse. And there's no need. So, if they pass all this into me and say this, what do I say? I say what I think I should say. I understand the point you are making. When I get home, then they will not let me go. But then, where do we go from here? We cannot fold our hands. I believe, and that is part of what we are doing here, and what I believe we must continue to do. How do we prepare for post-Buhari era? Buhari has done his best. My prayer is that God will spare his life to see his term through. But what do we have after Buhari? What should we do to make post-Buhari era better than what we have now? That is your responsibility. That is our responsibility. And that we cannot, and it's not a question of passing the buck or and saying, look.
The questions that comes to mind are, how many people need to die before Buhari sees his tenure through? How many people need to die? And Is Obasanjo positioning himself again for you all, or before you all, as those who are going to decide again what is good for you again, as usual? Because he loves Nigeria. He is always involved in everything. And just like himself, everything he's involved in has brought further failure to Nigeria. Haven't they? Everything is, you know. So, is Obasanjo still seeing himself as, just like many of them see themselves, so, as people who decided to bring Buhari in 2015 as the future, merge it and break it up. I mean, broke it up in 2019, but it was too late. The monster they created was so bigger than them that they couldn't stop it anymore. So are they positioning themselves for Obasanjo is over 80, by the way. And if you are in your 20s, now your grandpa be that. Right? Well, somebody placed or kind of described this in a clearer way. And it's good if you hear from the horse's mouth, by the way. And that is the unfamiliar voice speaking the truth, like a confession. Watch this.
Interest of public good. And you know, the politicians proudly tell you that politics is about interest. If they don't get what they want, they are ready to collapse the system. Every military coup in Nigeria's history was engineered by civilians that have lost elections, rightly or wrongly. If a politician contests for a position and he doesn't get it, he will not support a party member that got the nomination. He will rather move to the opposition and ensure that the person that defeated him, fair and square, loses the election. So we have a political culture where the primacy of personal interest trumps everything else. Now, what is the difference between human beings and animals? Human beings can come together and compromise to live in peace, to make progress. Animals, at least some of them, not all. Some animals are even organized enough to do what human beings do. But most animals don't have the sense that if we come together, we will be more successful. With animals, it's everyone for himself. So it is with most Nigerian politicians. Everyone for himself. No one for the country. No one even for the party. It's an interesting political culture, and it's ingrained. Politicians believe that is the way, that is politics. And to change it will take quite an effort. Something has happened in the political landscape in the last 1 year. This merger of 3 opposition parties. It's unprecedented. It has never happened. It only happened because the 3 leaders of the parties, that is General Buhari, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and Dr. Ogbonna Onu, decided that we must put aside our own personal interests, our personal aspirations, our personal ambitions to save the country. Because if we don't save it, PDP will take each one of us one by one and kill us. Standing alone, the PDP will get all of them. But together, perhaps, they stand a fighting chance. Okay? This is the only reason why the merger took place. Because for the first time, the leaders of the parties decided that public interest is more important than private interests. Now, I hope, and I'm a member of that party, I'm an official of that party, I hope that that attitude will be sustained as we go forward into the future. But this is a problem, and until we fix our politics, we'll continue to throw up the wrong leaders, we'll continue to sustain a system that serves the elite few to the detriment of the many. And one day, everything will end. Because this system that excludes, that pauperizes the majority is not sustainable. One day, the large majority of the poor and the hungry will kill all of us, the minority that are not poor and that eat well. Which brings me to the next problem. We have built our economics around one commodity called oil. We have moved from a country that is fairly economically diversified into a country that depends on oil. And we live in a federation where only one state is viable, really, Lagos. And Lagos is viable not because of its efforts, but because of history. It was the federal capital. It is the commercial capital. So they have the tax base to tax and be viable. Apart from Lagos, no state in the federation can pay the cost, the running cost of its government without a monthly check from Abuja. 2 other states can pay salaries. Kano, for the same reasons like Lagos, big history, some industrial base, and Kaduna, because one former governor sacked half of the civil servants, a military governor.
Sorry, I don't want to bore you with him. Some of you are getting bored, and you know that everything is said there. This was before 2015. Oh, I decided to play you old video there, right? When they were cooking the lies. And the, what do you call it? The Buhari idiots, the cyber barbarians, they were feeding them. Even those who got affected or infected by the changer virus, which ended up as a chain, well, it was speaking common sense, more or less like a confession. What they did or were doing to take over power. And when they took over power, they became the monster you have to deal with today. So we have a music for them.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope. We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
We know the reasons why they would never support either Yoruba nation or the Oduduwa Republic, Biafra, and like he mentioned, Niger Delta Republic and any other Arewa Republic and any other republic that might come out of the first union of 250 nationalities. How do you even do that? Here in Europe, you have every ethnic European, what do you call it, nationality in their own country. Proud, little, big, whatever you want to call it. But these are countries that you actually fit into different part of what is called today's Nigeria, comparatively, right? Bigger place, freer countries, but bigger place and first countries. So we know why they will never support that. It is because it will never give them the spotlight that they enjoy. Because normally, listen, normally, most of the people you celebrate as leaders in Nigeria, whether religious or whether traditional or political or even military, majority of them will never, ever survived any of those ranks they obtained in Nigeria elsewhere, same way they did. They got them in Nigeria. These are the guys, if you look at your military, these are the guys who never really fought any war to save the territorial integrity of Nigeria from terrorists, from anybody. The ranks they give to themselves, the title, the promotions they give to themselves, they got them from killing Nigerians. That's where they get the ranks from. Planning coup, overthrowing governments, and then rigging elections, killing innocent protesters. These are the qualities of things that gives them rank. Or then if you know people, in power as well as all of them. So it's all about them. And they will never let go just like that. But somebody reminded us, even within the chamber, you remember this? There is a problem that they are all avoiding. There's something that created the problem, sustained it. including with what we are currently having. One thing, until there is no longer that fraudulent document, we will continue to go in circle. And like I asked, how many will need to die before Buhari is no longer there to use that power under this fraudulent paper?
It's the credo of our republic. It says unity and faith.
Just a moment. Before we go on to that, my friends who are watching on YouTube, right? I want you to use this moment while you leave the chat room to like that video, share it if you haven't already, okay? And my friends on Facebook as well. This is also a moment. You can just search for Maiyegun's Diary Politico on YouTube. Join there, subscribe. There's no difference. Same thing you spend, times you spent, and then what do you call it? The data you spent on Facebook is the same you spend on YouTube. I just thought I should add that before we proceed. Let's proceed.
It's the credo of our republic. It says unity and faith, peace and progress. The truth is, whatever a man sows, the same he will reap. And that goes for a family, that goes for a tribe, that goes for a nation, and that goes for a multinational republic such as Nigeria. When a nation or republic cannot keep faith with justice and with the truth, it will never achieve unity. It will never achieve peace. And it will never achieve progress. Mr. President, sir, one of us quoted from this constitution and went ahead to make prescription for how to move forward. I dare to tell this nation today that this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity. And unfortunately, most of us in this National Assembly, we don't have the spine to face what we need to give this republic to have peace and progress. What do I mean? This constitution has 68 items. 68 on the exclusive list. This constitution has only 12 on the concurrent list. And those 12 are written so nebulously, so fraudulently, that you know that the intention is to even undermine those concurrent lists. That is why those who want unity and peace in Nigeria must first remember that the name of our republic is not just Nigeria. The formal name of this republic is Federal Republic of Nigeria. Unfortunately, we don't run a federalist system in Nigeria. Otherwise, what is so unique about all those things that are in the exclusive list? We used to have a parliamentary system. And then we wanted unity, we wanted peace, we wanted progress, and we therefore said we are going to go with a presidential system. Honestly, there are many presidential systems in the world that have peace and progress. I can't quarrel with that. But we must put in place the same safeguards that presidential system across the world put in place so that you can have what it needs to run the society. In this chamber, we try to federalize the police system. In this chamber, we failed. We failed because we didn't summon the courage, the wisdom, the tenacity of purpose, and the vision, and the understanding of what is making nations across the world to work. A man from Otuko was the DPO in my local government when I was chairman. The man did not speak Igbomina in an Igbomina local government. The man did not speak Yoruba in a Yoruba local government. Every crime is local. And the solution to every crime is local. The earlier that senators in Nigeria summoned the courage to say, we should not continue to deceive ourselves. I know that police is costly. If we are going to allow some states to have police according to their own wishes, therefore, we must revisit the revenue formula, such as more money go to states.
More money towards it. That's the sweetest part. You realize that everything he's been saying is colleagues. They are not really amused. They are not really interested. It's just like, come on, you have the floor. Oh yeah, talk. But you raised some vital points, talking about security and what could have been, what used to be, and what could have been the primary solution to what is now spreading as like a wildfire, right? That is the future of Nigeria, or oneness of Nigeria, where the rest of the people from the rest of Nigeria, or everyone from all the part of Nigeria, who came together to say, we are facing this problem. When it comes to the solution for it, or who should be responsible, they differ. And then they will never find the same solution anyway, just that same way. And you continue to run a country like that. You continue to run a country like that. That somebody's just going to come around and do a turnaround, one holistic approach, boom, and everybody will just form the line. That is the impression of the likes of Obasanjo. And the question is, how many people will need to die? If you call for a new constitution, that simply means there must be an end to the current ongoing one. How is that different from asking for a revolution that also put a halt to a system that is killing people, and those who are responsible have become irresponsible, and nobody is going to be held responsible for it? A new constitution where people can then say, okay, before we continue to be part of this country, this will be our position. A referendum, this will be our position. Is that not what everyone is asking for? Why should you then become, or why should it become a treasonable offense that even Oshibajo cannot explain?
Where we are today and why we're where we are today is because of 16 years of mismanagement of resources. That's the problem. That's why
you get it. Don't take offense. Do you get it?
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
16 years. And if you look at that 16 years of PDP that Toshibade is talking about, Obasanjo is involved. Obasanjo is always involved. That's why we are where we are today. Sorry about that. If you ask for a new constitution as part of the request, that's why if you go for any revolution now, right? Any revolution that becomes bigger, the demand of the people should be a new constitution. A new constitution will be an opportunity for everybody to now chip in whatever they want. And that will be the first start. Something that can force their hands. I don't know how soon that will be. You don't amend a fraudulent document that gives absolute power to one man, one organ, and let me say one arm of government over the rest of the country. It doesn't work that way. And that has brought us to where the likes of Obasanjo and co should know that, Baba, there's a time you should admit that you have failed. Many of those leaders that parade themselves, thanks to what Nigeria gave them, for those of them that are still alive, it was war for them too. They were killing themselves for power, for today, for the hilltop mansions that they gave to them, for the life pension that they are collecting, free citizenship of the world. They can travel the world wherever they want. They can write book and their friends will pay millions to buy them. It doesn't matter if their friends are never going to read their books, like the one they wrote in Lagos. As long as Nigeria pays the bill, it doesn't matter how. But if Nigeria is paying the bill in cash only, fine. But Nigerians are paying with their blood. So whatever it is holding Nigeria together is not in the interest of Nigerians, and they want to have that chat. I mean, if you ask everybody, or trust me, if they are not talking about 2023, if they are talking about, let's have a conversation around there, what is going on in Nigeria, what is your interest, opinion poll, as poor as they believe that they have beaten people into poverty, yeah, some will tell you that they will prefer them. You get what I mean now? But Nigeria continues to pay the bills. Nigerians continue to pay with their blood. Until you realize that, you are likely never going to know. So that's why they lie effortlessly. When you ask them, what is one Nigeria? You are a veteran. You have been the president. You have represented Nigeria. You have made decisions. You have, tell us, sir. If I see Baba, what do you call it? Somebody said we should change that name from Obasanjo. We should modify it. What did we agree to? Some said Obankparo, Olusegun Obankparo. And some said, well, I suggested, what about Otta, Albert Einstein? So whenever I say Otta, Albert Einstein, then you know we are talking about Obasanjo, the man that is the most brainiest, the man who knows what Nigeria don't know, the man who understands where Nigeria should be. But somehow, for 50 years, it's been failure. Unfortunately, we can't compare him to, well, again, it's up to you. It depends on whatever works for you. Obankparo, Otta, Albert Einstein, and any other thing that comes to mind. We know they like to insult elders. In our own way, we don't insult them, but it depends on what you call an insult. For example, if we say Tifnumbu, some said it's an insult. And I'm like, come on. As a way you say, in Yoruba land, we have Agbalagba. Then we have Agbayas. Then we also have the Agbaushis. Yorubas did not create those. You see those words? Yoruba did not coin them because they didn't coin those words out of the blues. There were those references. There were those that they saw. And Yorubas was like, you see this one, Agbalagba. An elder. You see this one is Agbaya. A useless old man or woman. You see this one is Agbaushi, Agbaishe. I don't know the English of that. But some people shall know, but I'm a Yoruba man. So if you know that, they will never call a young man Agbaya. No. There are some Agbalagbas who are like Agbaya for the reasons, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm a Yoruba man. So you pick whatever suits or works for you, okay? So don't abuse them. We also have Agbaofu. Some say we have Agbaradarada. And then, on and on. If these are Agba, in Yoruba land, these are the elders that have lost credibility, they've lost integrity, they lie unprovoked. Like Bisi Akande. What would you call Bisi Akande? What kind of Agbalagba would you call Bisi Akande? So on and on like that. Do you get that now? So Akande now wrote a book that he started lying effortlessly. Baba, who provoke you to lie? And though the lies, not that the lies affected me and you per se, but they were lying away from what they committed, which affected me and you. Some said, "Na agba oponu, agba rano." Hey, agba jati jati. You see, Yorubas are here. They know these words. We play with these words because we have those agba ushi agba. You know what I mean? So if you now say this person agba ushi, how can you say that person is an insult? Oh, okay. Maybe those words were created or coined by young people who have seen failures in people they expected responsibility from, or they are like older, irresponsible people who also fail to take responsibility. So maybe that is why we have the rancor. They say it's an insult. Don't insult an elder. You don't insult. If you want to grow old, don't insult an elder. Say farabale. Who told you that foolish people serve, not they grow old? Do you think all the foolish people die young? They say all smokers are liable to die young. Did you read it anywhere that foolish people are liable to die young? They grow old too. And do you know what? Now, so people came to and they said, a fool at 40. If your foolishness enter 40 years, Baba, no hope for you. So don't worry. It's not an insult. It is a title. B.C. Akande was lying effortlessly to the point that he provoked Baba Adebanjo. You know that old man? That man is over 90. Yeah? And Akande, when he was, let me tell you something, right? In Akonde's book, one second, Zeke, thank you by the way, Zeke. Can Obasanjo, Obasanjo, that's a new one. Can Obasanjo please explain what he means by Nigerianness? Is he referring to being known globally for fraud or terrorism or defecating in public? Thank you. Maybe somebody will, you know what I mean? It's all fraud. Zazazu. I was reading that online today. Something called Zazazu. Zay. I'm still figuring it out, guys. But I remember, I just found out that it has something to do with manipulation, fraud. So the Obasanjo and gang and the rest of them, what they are doing to you is called the Zazazu or something. Tell me, who have you heard about that? Zazazuze. I'll come back to that. Unprovoked lies. Akande said, when Buhari took over power through a coup in 1984, Buhari's government rounded up the people they called corrupt politicians under Shagari's government. When they rounded them up, Akande was one of them. In fact, during Buhari's trial, during Akonde's and the rest of them's trial by Buhari's tribunal, they found Akande guilty as a thief. And he was sent to 42 years in jail. A thief, among others. When Akande, well, it was Babangida who saved them. If not, Akande that you see today, now retired prisoner, you foresee him as they say, you see that old man where they walk, where they shake there, that poor man there. He was a very strong man in 1980. He go jail for 42 years now. Now pardon them give him after 25 years. So because Akande got back, Akande became one of the fraudulent fighters for Yoruba people, Nadeko, all this Afenifere stuff. Now, in Akonde's book, since Buhari is the president now, And they are praying that somehow, the same magic they did for Buhari, they will do it for Tinubu. Akande had to lie effortlessly. Tunde Idiagbon is dead. And Akande, in his book, decided to blame Tunde Idiagbon for everything that he suffered under Buhari by exonerating Buhari. That you see all those things they said about Buhari jailing this person, killing these people, trying to kidnap these people from abroad. All those things, in Akande's book, my participations, Akande blamed Tunde Idiagbon and praised Buhari in the same way, unprovoked. Waiting, old man, why you dey lie? What is the reason? What do you want to achieve? Of course, he wants to achieve something before he dies by bringing Buhari Pro Max, Tinubu. So he had to also lie against other people in their circle. That was where Baba Adebanjo came in. Akande trying to tell everybody how generous. Remember I told you how Tinubu became their godfather after Obasanjo kicked them out in 2003. And it was through their greed, though. Let me tell you that story shortly. In 2003, the Yoruba people, they listened to Afenifere, AD, Afenifere, all these people. And Yorubas were still kind of feeling the pain of the death of Abiola. So somehow, Yorubas were more like, at that point, even politically, traditionally, Yoruba were so close to publicly demanding for the breakaway from Nigeria. However, the new political arrangement, which made Bola Ige, the man who wrote the constitution of PDP, the man who wrote the constitution of AD, the people who actually founded the two first political party that went into that election, Yorubas gave their votes to AD as Yoruba party. That was what gave birth to Tinubu and Gango, among other background play and everything. So in 2003, these Yoruba governors, after failing the Yoruba people, they knew, so arrogant, proud, and bunch of failures. They are still around, though. Some of them are still around, though. Some of them are dead. In fear, they went into an arrangement, an agreement with Obasanjo. The Yorubas, they will vote for Obasanjo, PDP. And Obasanjo will tell all PDP to vote for AD. So in that confidence, they went into that election. On the day of election, they have told their people to vote Obasanjo, Omowani, Obasanjo, vote for. As people went to poll, as they were voting PDP for president, they were thumbprinting PDP for governor. It was so late that they ended up calling it democratic coup. So that was when Tinubu became their godfather. All of them that didn't survive that onslaught. And all of them didn't survive except Tinubu. Ekiti, Ondo, Adebanjo of Ekiti. They went with it. Who was this guy? Before Agagu, Adefarati in Ondo. They went with it with that coup as well. Lamadeshino in Oyo, he was sacrificed. Who was this guy in Oshun? Bisi Akande. So they became Tinubu's lackey. That was, and Tinubu that survived and in charge of Lagos money. He became the automatic godfather. The only one who was then able to fund AD until he told them, I can't fund the AD anymore because he was not in control of that AD. And immediately Tinubu said he was going to start AC. These ready-made, these guys, right? They were ready to join him. That was when they started pushing this, Yoruba that. Again, how they just changed Yoruba this, Yoruba that. Akande now turn around to say the same benefit he enjoyed from Tinubu, Baba Adebanjo also benefited same. That even, in fact, in his book, he said, in fact, the house that Adebanjo, the leader of Afenifere, and the man that has told Nigeria that, listen, if you don't come together and convene national conference where everybody can go their separate way regionally, Nigeria is going to break up. No election. You shouldn't be talking about election. Bisi Akande lied unprovoked in his book, and he said the house Adebanjo is living in Lekki was built for him by Tinubu, because Adebanjo continued to pressure Tinubu to build him a house. You have to build me a house. Oh boy, the team can't provoke the old man to release the statement of how he actually made this money. And he challenged them. He said, listen, this is how I built my houses. So back in the days, now this, you have to know if indeed now you get the money where you take do anything, not like Tinubu that converted half of Lagos properties into his own empire. Now appointed his cronies to head them under different proxy names. That the same thing Bisi Akande was projecting on him. Bisi Akande should come out and explain, how he managed to build his own residence in Oshun. So, guys, I'm going to read this word for word for the sake of this video, as usual. All right, a press statement from Baba Ayo Adebanjo. In fact, let's listen to this first. Then we will get to Baba Ayo's statement midway.
ni mo ta mo láti ta gbogbo ẹ̀ àti ilé tí mo fi ilẹ̀ tí mo fi jogún láti ọ̀dọ̀ màmá mi àti ilẹ̀ táwọn lọ́wọ́ fún mi ní Bíbé Olú gbà tó wà láyé ni mo ta gbogbo àwọn ilé yẹn, ara àwọn ilé tí mo ta yẹn àwọn náà ló ṣí ilé tó wà nínú Olú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìjọba ìbẹ̀rù tí wọ́n wá tọ́jú ákìrì ìbẹ̀rù àwọn fẹ́ẹ́ ti ṣe mítì ibẹ̀ náà ni Akande yìí ló máa ń fi ẹsẹ̀ rìn wá bá mi tó máa ń rìpọ́tù ní Bọ́lá Ìgbè ó ń gbé ṣẹlẹ̀ gbà yẹn ó ń ṣe agent pé ó ṣe mọ́ tó rọ̀ petrol station ó rọ̀ petrol station ní Àpápá ní àdì police station BP petrol station ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú bá wá gbádìí ọ̀la bàbá nígbà ìṣòro ìyẹn tó wá ń pàtó yìí ó.
I'll come back to that. You know what Baba was saying there is that it's a shame that all his houses, which he sold at some point, some of the, including the land given to him by Awolowo, that most of his properties is at way back. In one of them, where this Akande always trek to come and see him, to report Bola Ige and all that. What happened is that old man that you just listened to there is all this first generation of lawmakers. Should I say the first republic lawmakers in Yoruba land? When you talk about Awolowo's policies, people who work with Awolowo between 1954 and 1960, this man is one of them. But we'll come back to that. Let me read it to you. What he released as the statement in response to this old man, Bisi Akande's lies. He said, about a week ago, last Thursday, 7th December, to be exact, at presentation of the book, My Participation by Chief Bisi Akande, it was said that Bisi Akande stated in the book that I brought pressure on Bola Tinubu to build the house for me. But since Bola Tinubu himself was present at the presentation, I expect him within a few days to refute such a malicious falsehood about me emanating from his man Friday, Bisi Akande. I hold this view because Bola Tinubu, just some 3 years ago, on the occasion of the presentation of my autobiography, saying it as it is, that for my incorruptibility and strength of character, Bola Tinubu would not have been governor of Lagos State in 1999. These are the Afenifere, the guys who actually made most of these guys in 98, 99, politically, genuinely. But that's a story for another day. Another day, rather. What then could he be demanding from me after his 2-term governorship to make me pressurize him to build a house for me when I did not get a naira from him before he became the governor? There has been a lot of pressure on me not to react to Bisi Akande's tantrums. He is a neophyte, a beneficiary of a struggle he never took part in. I have been urged to keep to the adage, not to answer a fool less you reduce yourself to his level. But there is also an adage that says, answer a fool less he thinks he is wise. A lot has been said in the press and the social media to admonish tantrums. But I owe a duty to myself and to put the record straight for posterity about the big lie that Bola Tinubu built my house in Lekki for me. I therefore deny categorically that my house in Lekki was built with my resources through the sale of 3 developed properties, loan from GT Bank, and the sale of undeveloped landed property given to me by my late leader, Chief Obafemi Awolowo of blessed memory. The details are as follows. A 4-bedroom duplex with 2-bedroom flat enclosed with 2 undeveloped plots at 4, Block 14, Nuru Oniwo Street, Aguda Surulere, Lagos State. This is where I was living before moving to Lekki. The house was commissioned in 1972 by Chief Obafemi Awolowo. A wing of the duplex was once occupied by a staff of the security outfit known as Special Branch, headed then by the late Alhaji Hemdi Yusuf, who later became Inspector General of Police when General Olusegun Obasanjo was the head of state. It was later occupied by one of the wives of Chief Pius Akinyelure, who often visit his wife there in company of Senator Bola Tinubu. The gate of his property was first opened by Abacha security forces when Nadeko was holding a send-off party for American Ambassador Walter Carrington in my house. I took the federal government to court for damages and I was awarded 1 million naira, which has not been paid till today by the federal government. Mr. Olisa Agbakoba San was my counsel. The house was sold to St. Bath Anglican Church, Aguda Surulere, 2-story building at Otedola Street, Surulere, Lagos State. I bought it through an estate agent by name Mr. Shiwaniku, who has relocated to UK. He has a brother in a legal, who has a brother who is a legal practitioner in Abuja. He said, the house was sold to a Ghanaian by name Mr. Akapo. He is still alive and he lives in one of the flats in the building. 4-story building with a warehouse on the ground floor and 6 flats on top. It was commissioned by Chief Awolowo in 1977. I inherited a plot of 45 by 100 from my mother, Salamotu Anomo Adebanjo, who built a bungalow on it. She bought the land when I was in primary school in 1940 from one Pa Idowu Onitiri for £20, which she paid by installment of £10, £7, and £3. His son, Akambi Onitiri, executed the conveyance for me without extra payment after showing him the purchase receipt from his father when I was developing it in 1976. Akambi Onitiri is the father of Sumbo Onitiri, a well-known estate surveyor in Lagos today. The building was sold to a woman through an estate agent. I then took a loan from GT Bank to complete the house in Lekki where I am living now. When the interest on the loan became unbearable, I was compelled to sell the undeveloped land given to me by Chief Obafemi Awolowo in the Deolu Estate in Morocco, Victoria Island. One Mr. Ade Otusonya, a friend of my son, Femi Adebanjo, bought the land. The contractor who built my Lekki house is engineer Akim Sulaiman, senior partner of Messiah H.A. Associates. The electrical and mechanical contractor is engineer Tokumbo Oshokoya, senior partner of Messiah's O'Share Project. The architect is Mr. Deji Johnson. The quantity surveyor is late Otumba T.B. Adebayo, The Lekki property, the house in my village is Sonyaogbo, and 3-bedroom flat in a townhouse at Omorinre Street in Lekki are the properties I have in the whole world. I hereby authorize the EFCC to verify the above facts. It is alleged that Chief Bisi Akande's building at Ilaorogun, which I understand is more than double in expanse of my house in Lekki, and some other properties he has in Lagos and abroad were financed by Bola Tinubu. His house in Ibadan was also alleged to have been built by the contractor that built the secretariat in Oshogbo when he was the governor of Osun State. I hereby challenge Chief Bisi Akande to clear the air by disclosing the source of financing these properties as I have done above. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the great philanthropist, should also disclose the source of his wealth, with which he bankrolled the elections of APC in the Southwest and that of General Muhammad Buhari and his various properties in Lagos. He should also authorize the FCC to verify such details as I have done above. Thank you very much. God bless wherever. And then Shifayo Adebanjo. That's the press statement. Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba, okay? I want you to listen to this video again, because here he said a few other things that were not really listed as in his press statement. I'll do my best to interpret for my non-Yoruba speakers. And if you can do me that honor as you are watching that video, you can maybe start dropping that interpretation in the comments. It helps greatly. Watch this.
àwọn ilé tí mo ti ní nígbà tí mo jẹ́ mo ti fò fún ẹ wá ni mo ta láti ta gbogbo ẹ̀ àti ilé tí mo fi ilẹ̀ tí mo fi jogún láti ọ̀dọ̀ màmá mi àti ilẹ̀ táwọn náà fún mi ní ilé olú nígbà tó wà láyé ni mo ta gbogbo àwọn ilé yẹn ara àwọn ilé tí mo ta yẹn àwọn náà ló ṣí ilé tó wà nínú ronú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìjọmọ̀ ìbẹ̀rù tí wọ́n wá tọ́jú ákìrì ibẹ̀ làwọn fẹ́ẹ́ ti ṣe mítì ibẹ̀ náà ni Akande yìí ló máa ń fi ẹsẹ̀ rìn wá bá mi tó máa ń rìpọ́tù ní Bọ́lá Ìgbè ó ń gbé ṣẹlẹ̀ gbà yẹn ó ń ṣe agent pé ó ṣe mọ́ tó rọ̀ petrol station ó rọ̀ petrol station ní Àpápá ní àdì police station BP petrol station ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú bá wá gbájú ọ̀la bàbá nígbà ìṣòro ìyẹn tó wá ń pàtó yìí ó ìyá Yorùbá ló máa ń yọ́lẹ̀ dá máa mú ara bẹ́ẹ̀ ìjọ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ní APC pápá ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀dàlẹ̀ pọ̀ jù ìbẹ̀rù tí wọ́n bá mi àwọn náà ló ṣí kò pé tàdé láti ọgbà ẹ̀wọ̀n tá a lọ sí Ghana tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ bó fẹ́ lónìí ìgbẹ́ làwọn náà sọ pé ṣe ló tẹ̀lé sílé fáwọn ọmọ wọn ìgbà tó kọ́ tó sílé ìbọn tó bá jẹ́ ìjẹ́bù ni ó sílé àmúwò ó wá sí tèmi gbogbo àti àbàdàn sẹ́wọ̀n nìyẹn o ìyẹn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ilé kejì ti túta oníkan tí mo rà ní ọ̀dẹ́dọ́là ọwọ́ wa ní òwe yìí ẹni tí ó ra ilé yẹn lọ́wọ́ mi mo pè wá sí ìpàdé ó lè wá bí àwọn onírúurú èrò yìí wọ́n ya fọ́tò ẹ̀ ó wà níbí ilé onípẹ̀tẹ́sì ní flat mẹ́ta ló wà mẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ àwọn kan náà dáhùn ní Ghanaian ni gbàtọ́ lọ́wọ́ máa ṣe tí mo wádìí ó jẹ́ ṣì wá mẹ́ẹ̀ ìkan náà flat ilé yẹn ló ń gbé ìkẹta tí mo ta ilé màmá mi tó ti ra àgbà tí mo wà ní school ilé yẹn 1940 màmá mi rà which was the primary school 1940 ló rà lọ́wọ́ bàbá Onítìrí ẹ̀jẹ̀ bá jẹ́ ọmọ Èkó ẹ̀ máa gbọ́ Onítìrí kì í ṣe àkọ́bí o bàbá Ìdòwú Onítìrí ló rà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ní ogún pọ́ùn ilẹ̀ yẹn 1545 by 100 feet ni tí mo wà ló máa ń bá ń tẹ̀lé wọn lọ gbàtà lọ́wọ́ bẹ̀ màmá kọ́ bọ́gà lọ sí ṣùgbọ́n gbà tí máa tún kọ́ tí ó fi kú onítìrí òṣèré fún mo láti lọ bá kọ̀ bí ìyẹn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ à wọ́n kọ́ ní sí ìgbà yàrá ìdìbò ní dọ́kúmẹ̀tì ẹ̀dá kẹ́bi lọ́yà àpòpọ̀gbẹ́jọ́ bá rẹ́jísà purchase kìtì evidence of payment ní kì í ṣe evidence of ownership tí bá dẹ̀ bá rẹ́jísà kẹ́wọ́n láti pàtó lẹ̀ ta ló dẹ̀ bá sáàyè fún mi gbọ́dọ̀ bá.
ọ̀rọ̀ tó pọ̀ ni ọ̀rọ̀ tó pọ̀ but like people are saying you see these people they are the same okay but somehow Baba Adebanjo, even though he is not for Yoruba nation as well, Nigeria somehow has really been good to them. It's just in different ways. But that doesn't mean that Akande, the former petrol attendant, I didn't even know that Akande was a former petrol station attendant, like supervisor. Baba didn't say he owned it. He said Akande then was a petrol station manager, like somebody who is, supervisor, but also interested in politics aside also. So Akande, that politics has now paid so well that he's become an ass licker, a boot licker to Tifnumbu. And Baba also said that, despite all we did for him, including his certificate, education and all of that, why would Akande now turn around? What we did for Tinubu, why would Akande now turn around to just lie against me? The old man is. But the bottom line is that they all know what they did, and they didn't do them for the sake of Yoruba people, even if they probably thought they did. Akande that is lying unprovoked, he knows what he's doing too, living off the system and bleeding the people that they claim to be representing. I told you how they became the lackeys for Tifnumbu, and why they will remain his ass licker for the rest of their old miserable lives. Akande and gang. I told you. It's a lifeline. Just same way Obasanjo will continue for the rest of his life. He will continue to see that Nigeria remains one. It's not because he has any power to keep Nigeria one. He doesn't have any power to stop the breakup of Nigeria. But his position till he dies is still going to be Nigeria should remain one because of all those personal reasons. And like Akande, like the rest of them, they are not representing the Yorubas. So when they became Tifnumbu's lapdogs, using old age to deceive other gullible idiots that actually listen to them, some people don't like that. They were like, Maiyegun, don't call them idiots. Oloribu. Do you think because I've been trying to speak, I forget that? You'll be idiot will tell you'll be idiots. There's a reason for that. You get why? Tifnumbu that is plotting his political scheme. Akande the liar, the ass licker, continue to regurgitate, say the same thing, even though he had no clue. You know what they did in 2011? PDP, they said they zoned speakership to Southwest, since Goodluck Egbere Jolantan will be the president. And then this guy from Benue, remind me his name, former soldier as well, will be the Senate president. David Mark, I think. Was he? So, Akande, a woman from Osun, should be the Speaker of the House of Representatives. 2011, no. Tinubu that was plotting his political scheme, not for Yoruba people, but for himself. What did he do? Adebanjo, Akande, the rest of them, they took a flight, Abuja straight. And you know the story, oh. That was how Tinubu of ACN and his gang, they decided to sponsor Tambuwa. That was how Tambuwa became the speaker. They used everything they had, everything, to cut down any Yoruba person becoming that speaker because they could do it. They knew they were dealing with a weak Jonathan, the one they call weak anyway, politically. They were Yorubas. Oh. They moved to Abuja, spent millions of their money they stole from Yoruba land to sponsor Tambuwa from Sokoto to become the speaker. You know the rest of the story. The Lagos Saboba coups. Yeah? They didn't see that. As number 3 in their political arrangement, number 3 person in Nigeria, a woman or a Yoruba woman. There's no pride in that because Tinubu knows that that is going to make that person a political heavyweight against whatever he's plotting towards 2015 when he thought he would have a chance of either becoming president or vice president. So having a speaker from there, that's going to alter that. He moved his own Yoruba criminal representatives who claim to represent Yorubas, and they voted for Tambuwa. And they then used the next 4 years to tell Yorubas how PDP and Jonathan marginalized Yoruba people. And they sold. PDP lost, Jonathan lost 600,000 votes of Yoruba votes for that singular act. Smart, not so smart. Selfishness, greed, self-centeredness of these guys. It wasn't smart after all. 7 years down the line, look at us, look at Nigeria, look at our people, look at the youth, look around you. Selfishness of selfish people. And they are positioning themselves, deodorizing their stench to look new, good, because they have something for you again. When they don't. Let me open the line. Some of you are dying to phone in. I've been checking my phone and realized that some of you, I didn't plan to, but it will be fun to hear from 1 or 2 people tonight. Obasanjo has made it clear he has no apology for any of us. Some said, Maiyegun, we have no get any apology for Obasanjo. Somebody that cannot tell us what is one Nigeria, what is oneness of Nigeria. He couldn't describe it without putting himself in that picture because it works for him. He's a good example. But what about the 34,000 people killed in Borno State in the last 10 years alone? They are not as lucky as Obasanjo or Bankparo. Right? So I'll keep the rest of our minute, which is going to be about 30 minutes or 35 minutes. Let's manage the time. If you phone in, make sure it's just WhatsApp call. Meanwhile, listen to this so somebody gets a suggestion for how to end the banditry, the terrorism. And it is no other person, their national representative or national commissioner.
The problems Nigerians have, we have long-term problems and we have immediate problems. Long-term problems, when people talking about constitution, revenue, allocation formula, all these are long-term problems. But today, now, we are facing a Frankenstein, a monster we created ourselves. And Ijomani would say, a second-class Nigerian. He's treated as a second-class Nigerian. Let's accept. But do you know that there are also third-class Nigerians? When you talk about graduates not having jobs, and this is a time bomb, how about a chunk of Nigerians, a big population of millions that has no even a primary school education? How will they cope in this political, socio-economic, ecological disarray that is facing the nation? So this third-class people now is the Frankenstein that we're facing. They respect no religion, they respect no ethnicity, they respect nothing. People talk about a boss burnt in Sokoto State by bandits. When we all know bandits initially, they don't kill people like that, they kidnap people to get money. So what has metamorphosed and turned them into a Frankenstein, a monster that is now trying to kill people just like that for the pleasure of it? Have you asked for 1 second? They have women too. They have children too. Have you asked for 1 minute that what happens to their children when we are bombarding their rugas? What happened to their children when we are bombarding rugas? You are talking about when they kidnap school children. Don't you ask, okay, which school their children go to? Because we don't have answers to this, that's why we are surprised. But if we have embraced them as Nigerians and extend to them what we extend to Nigeria, or at least give them hope, just hope, you'll see a difference. And this is what we learned when we ventured there. It's not an irretractable problem. It can be solved. But we need the right political environment to do it. Many people, like the kind representative is talking about military actions. We are here for peace. And we have seen that peace can tame this Frankenstein. I have seen it. What we need to do is to build, like the Global Peace Foundation and Vision Africa, what they have been doing around the world, like building homes and schools, giving locals animals to breed, giving them medical.
I know it is kind of, psychologically stressful listening to him. It's the same, rhetorics. Give them schools. You cannot, if soldiers bomb them, have you thought about their children? Have you thought, when you said they kidnap school children, have you thought about their own children if they go to schools at all? All these things are supposed to be our concerns. And since we don't care, the price of us getting kidnapped or killed is not too much to pay until we care. And the people who are supposed to care, who are getting paid to care, they don't. So it's our fault, according to these guys. So I'm going to take just 1 or 2 calls, okay? I'm going to call it tonight. Hopefully, we'll have a chance of starting early enough tomorrow, hopefully. So I've got my first caller. Let's see. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Maiyegun.
Good evening. One name. How are you?
No, my name is Adeleke.
You know what one name is, by the way, right? My brother, it means, but I'm going to say Adeleke and stick to that. How are you, sir?
Okay. Oh, I'm very fine.
Great. Where are you calling from, if I may ask?
From France.
You're calling from France. So you have the floor and you're live, please.
You know, Maiyegun, our problem is, I can tell you, Awolowo caused Yoruba problem. Awolowo and his disciples, Jakonde, Bola Ige, Ajasin. Do you know why?
Tell me, sir.
After independence, 3 months after independence, a Yoruba man raised it that let us follow India and Pakistan way. They refuse. A Yoruba man, it's lack of foresight. A Yoruba man, when I remember his name, I will call you, I will tell you. He told them, let us follow Indian Pakistan way. They refused. You know what happened? After the West here, Operation West here, Fulani jail all of them.
That's true.
If they follow the Yoruba man advice, Fulani will not come and jail them in Oduduwa land. Never.
Absolutely not.
Never. Fulani will not come and jail them in Yoruba nation. I don't know what they want with one Nigeria. See where we are today. Tell me all our achievements have been destroyed. United UI, Lagos, all the roads, Cocoa House, all the
settlements, everywhere
have been destroyed. All what our labor for have been destroyed. Where are we today?
Nowhere.
Let us follow India and Pakistan where they say no, they want to die in one Nigeria. See what we are facing today now. See what we are going through. One Nigeria. Where are we today?
The sad thing is that
all our labor have been destroyed.
The sad thing is that nobody can define one Nigeria. They can't really define it. Something that we can say, okay, this is.
Tell me, what did our labor for? Destroyed by Fulani. Let us go and say no. Let's assume they don't know. A Yoruba man asked them, let us follow India and Pakistan where they refuse. I will search for the man's name. I will tell you.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me take another.
After 6 months, after some time, the Yoruba man died. The Yoruba man died. Who killed him? Do you think a Fulani killed him? No. Now we like what they are doing to Igbo today. Do you think Fulani man killed the man? No. Now we as what they are doing for Igbo today. We have a long way to go, Yoruba people. God help us.
Amen.
Good day, Maiyegun.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a very good start, by the way. And as he was talking, this is what came to my mind, and I think I should share that with you. One moment.
Malamala. Mo bojú ayé o ayé ṣá malamala. Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣubúlẹ̀. Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣubúlẹ̀. Mo ní ẹ̀ẹ́rẹ́ yìí o. Kí ni dé sí Yorùbá o ọmọ aráyé? Kí ni ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Yorùbá o ọmọ Oòduà o? Yéyéyéyéyéyé àwa máa ṣeun ọ̀rọ̀ là ń bẹ. Yorùbá ń ṣera wọn nítorí owó. Yorùbá ń jìra wọn lẹ́sẹ̀ nítorí ipò. Wọ́n gbẹ̀mí fáláre, wọ́n gbáre pẹ́lẹ́bí. Wọ́n kò lè kó wájà, wọ́n tún kó lóko wá mú. Ọgbọ́n tí wọ́n gbọ́n ló gbé wọn délé ọlá. Ọgbọ́n náà ló tún padà wá sí lé wọn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń ṣọ̀gá lọ́jọ́ tó ti pẹ́. Tún padà wá dẹni à ń fọwọ́ ti sẹ́yìn o. Yóò Yorùbá yoyoyo bí iná alẹ́. Yorùbá rúrúrú bí omi òkun. Yorùbá bàbá ni bàbá ń ṣe. Yóò Yorùbá ronú o. Yorùbá sọra wọn di bọ́ọ̀lù fáráyé gbá. Wọ́n bá gbá wọn sókè, wọ́n tún gbá wọn sísàlẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yà tí ó ti kéré tẹ́lẹ̀ ni wọ́n gé.
Thank you for that. I have somebody on the line. Hello.
Hello, yeah, Maiyegun. How you doing now?
I am fine, Baba. How you doing?
Yeah, it's nice talking to you.
It's a pleasure.
I'm
Your
going
name,
to
by
start
the
by,
way,
I'm going to
because you're
respect
live
you,
now.
Maiyegun. You know, my name is Tuji from Plumstead.
TJ from Blumstead. You are live, brother.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay. First is, you know, Maiyegun, you don't support violence.
I don't.
But what you are calling from, what you are calling for, we are against violence. And there's no way on earth we're going to get it peacefully. Are you telling me, Maiyegun, if you are attacked, you won't defend yourself?
I will. Absolutely.
I will. Okay, good. Fantastic. Now, let me go on to OBJ. OBJ, I'm from Abeokuta. I've lived in Ibarra for a very long time, but I'm in UK. But you see, anything Obasanjo lay his hand on is pure bad luck. I'm telling you, I've known the man for a very long time. And my best friend knew that anything, the moment they mention Obasanjo, I'll just change the telly. The man is too evil. I'm telling you, it's too evil. If you ask Obasanjo a hypothetical question about how Oduduwa is going to look, he doesn't know. And he says it's more Nigerianness than Odudua. Who the hell is he? Who is he representing? Everybody, most people that have worked under Obasanjo when he was in government, most of them are supposed to be in jail by now. Absolutely. Even that includes Obasanjo himself. All this Fayose, all this Mimiko, all of them, they need to gather all of them up because they knew about Bola Ige. Who killed Bola Ige? They got away with it. Even Tinubu that is talking about Swagger, he has a case about, what's that name? Giwa or so. So all these people
you talking about Funshaw Williams? TJ, are you talking about Funshaw Williams?
Funshaw Williams, yes. And he has the gut now. He wants to be president. Yeah, they have ruined people's life. Most of the people that are brought today is because of what they have done.
God bless you.
And you see, that stupid man that is going, Obasanjo, one of our problems is respect in Nigeria. If Obasanjo, when Buhari came to see David Cameron dead, his hand was behind him, talking to Cameron. I don't know if you see that picture. His hand was right behind him. But how old is Cameron? How old is Boris Johnson? How old is Macron? How old is Trudy? None of them is up to 60. They are talking. That Obasanjo is doing errand boys, telling people that is working for Europe. Àwọn ọmọ náà ń rán iṣẹ́ kiri, òun fò kiri, òun jókòó pẹ̀lú terrorists, òun run ìlú tiẹ̀ down, and they will be saying, you're the leaders of tomorrow. So did they give us the space to come in and take over?
Too many questions.
And they will tell you, respect your elders. Who are they? Say Oni of Ife, you respect me. How old is Oni of Ife? Who is Oni of Ife? Everybody, if I'm telling you, if UK wants 10 million people from Nigeria tomorrow, it will take them 24 hours. 24 hours. Look at Dubai. Dubai came to Nigeria to exploit all our doctors. And they're talking about one Nigeria. All those doctors that left Nigeria, where are they from? Are they not from the south? So the country is empty. That stupid old man is going up and down. He's talking about Nigerianness. He's not representing the Yorubas. He should go to hell.
Thank you, TJ. Let me take another call too. Thank you very much.
No problem.
That's Omar Dugbomi. He's from Abeokuta. I'm from Ijebu. And trust me, he couldn't have said it better. I have another person on the line. Hello. Oh, give me a sec. Let me get you on the real line. Yeah. Good evening to you. Your name, please.
Yeah, my name is Moses. I'm coming from the UK.
Moses, you said, yeah?
Yes.
Great. So,
from the
Moses,
UK.
Yeah. So you are live, please. Go on.
Maiyegun.
Sir.
To buttress what the last caller said, he said the respect is part of the problem we have in Nigeria. Until what happened in Ghana in 1981 and 82 happened in Nigeria. Nigeria is not going to change. All those so-called big men in Yoruba land, they need to be arrested, jailed, and killed. If not, Nigeria is not going to be peaceful. They are the main problem of Nigeria.
Please elaborate.
Look at Obasanjo, for instance. Obasanjo was the old president. He came to become new president.
That's right.
Anything Obasanjo did was wrong. Everything Obasanjo did was wrong.
And you know one thing, he's involved almost in everything, by the way. He's always involved.
Obasanjo is a wizard. He's the one ruling Nigeria. Until all those people, until they get them off, Nigeria will never exist. You guys are telling us that the future. What is the future? Where?
Leaders of tomorrow.
The future is now. Can you imagine? The future is now. And I want to encourage all the youth. Let's rally together. Let's form one stronghold and get rid of all these old men. If not, there's no future for Nigeria. I used to believe in Nigeria until years back. Let me tell you this story. Now, I have a brother in Nigeria.
Please.
It was in front of a shop. Now, a police car parked, and they brought out two people. And one of them pointed to my brother. Now, the police went, arrested my brother. Okay. In fact, it was a university student. In front of my dad's shop, He was arrested, took to the police station. No questioning. The next day, he was taken to court. Can you imagine? 3 days after he was supposed to be jailed. He didn't do anything. A student.
For what?
Now,
crime?
one of them
Exactly.
now came to.
For what crime? Or what?
Maiyegun, no knowing. I think they went for a robbery.
Right.
And one of them, whether the police took money from them,
right, or
one of them escaped. So they're looking for somebody to balance the person. Just imagine.
Right.
They now picked this guy up. One of them now said he wasn't part of them anymore. What is the agility?
And
my blood brother is not somebody else.
Thinking about the other people who have been jailed like that. Let me also share one story with you.
Exactly.
Moses. Let me share one story with you. This one is very recent. Yeah, you must have read about these 15 people that got released after spending 14 years in jail. And a man who got picked up in front of his shop in Oka. He just told his own boys in his shop that I'm coming back now. I'm going to so person's shop. When I get back, I want you to make me pack all this and get them ready. He never came back. 15 years after that, he got a freedom just last month in November 2021. They accused him of being a member of MASOP, the Biafran agitators of that time. 15 years, and they, nothing. They found nothing on him, absolute nothing, and that's it.
The wasted his life. Until we get to the body stuff, man, Nigeria will never repeat. Look at what we say Ghana is peace. This is what Rollins did in Ghana. They killed all of them. If they didn't kill them, Nigeria will never be. I'm telling you, market of the world. Nigeria will never be peaceful until they get rid of all those witches and wizards. But Obasanjo did more.
Thank you so much, Moses. Let me take another call. Just while we manage our time as well tonight. It's been a pleasure talking to you, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Stay safe, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye, man. So I have another caller. It seems that friends from the UK seems to be getting the front lead on the queue. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Maiyegun.
Good evening to you, sir. Your name, please.
My name is Olu. I'm calling from London.
Olu from London. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great.
Yeah, it's so heartbreaking hearing from Obasanjo again. I want to believe God gave him 2 chances. He blew it the first chance. He blew it the second time. This third time, he's just, as you said, he's just everything you mentioned about Nigeria is just his presence there. And this time around, he's not doing a good job yet again. And who is not believing that anyone from Nigeria is going to be instrumental to the release of a Sunday Igboho? We are all joking. So I concur with people who are clamoring for hiring people from outside to actually do the bidding for that guy in Benin. Look at the cronies. Look at all of them. Their hegemony in all over the place. Their dominance is just all over the place. They are not interested in a new thing coming from that nation. And everybody clamoring for a new nation or a rebirth. They are not interested because everything they have ever been benefiting will be taken away from them. And that's their fear. Because it has to be taken away from them. Look at my friend who is an architect. He said he got to Idiagbon, and they said this is Obasanjo expanse of land.
That's right.
The indigenous don't even have that kind of land in their own space. So this kind of a thing will be taken away from them. All this unlawful benefit that they have ever enjoyed will be taken away from them. And that's why you will ever believe in one Nigeria. And what is Nigerianness, for crying out loud? You are copying what you do. You cannot even define.
Nobody can
explain
to us.
Redefinition.
You are older, right? Olu, right? You are old. You are older man. You are not a kid. I am older man in my own little way. I'm not a kid. And if my kid asks me, Daddy, who is a Nigerian. I will have to make something up or tell him the truth. You know what? Nobody is Nigerian, right? Or I will make something up and say, well, we Nigerians, we are but most importantly, right? And disappointingly too, when you start to try to make up something to say, this is what Nigeria means, you find yourself describing your tribe, describing where you come from, where you've been, and all those. Nothing to really attach it to Nigeria. Nothing.
There's no homogeneity in Nigerian in Nigeria history. There's no homogeneity. You cannot say this is what Nigeria is or who is a Nigerian. That is what it is. Let us go our different ways. Let us have a rebirth. Let us live and let live. Live and let live. Let everybody live like human beings. And they come to Europe, they go to America, they travel over the world. Is this how they make their own country to be? What are we enjoying outside Nigeria? We're not picking dollars or pounds on the street, but you live like a human being. Your right cannot be overridden, even by the law enforcement agents. They want to arrest you even if you are contraband. You will see the kind of respect they will give you. Until you know that kind of a thing. Look at what they did in Ole's house. And they still float. In fact, it's a disgrace.
They are still keeping the bodies,
killed two people.
Do you know that? They are still keeping the bodies of the people they killed at Idiagbo's house. They are still keeping the bodies.
I guess they have dumped that in the river. According to one video I saw, they said the cronies that they use said they normally dump those bodies in a river. Maybe they have dumped them in the river in Osun State. I don't know, near Idiagbon or somewhere. He mentioned in one of those videos.
Under Buhari, under Buhari, nothing is impossible. So I'm never going to say no, because why would you keep the body of people you killed, murdered? That's a murder, right? Why would you keep them in the morgue and their families have no access to them for 6 months? So I'm never going to say probably that is not true, but I hope it's not, honestly speaking.
I hope so too.
Thanks so much, Olu, for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'll take one more call just before we go. Hopefully, hello.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. How are you tonight?
I'm fine.
Your name, sir?
Are you still alive?
You are alive, sir.
That's very good. That's very good.
And please, you need to help me turn. You need to help me turn down the volume of your device that you are watching with, okay? Because you are live now. Everyone can hear you.
Yeah, I'm off it already. I just
fantastic. Your name, sir?
My name is Samuel Ido.
Samuel.
I'm calling from the US.
Oh, from the US. Thank you so much. Go on.
You see the guy that said something before this last guy, Adebanjo guy.
Yes.
That guy, he doesn't know what he's saying. He doesn't know what he's saying. Maybe it's a small boy. Awolowo did the right thing that time. They are all, even though if it's you at that time, that is what you will do. That Nigeria, one, they don't know left or right than to make it as what our ancestors do. All these British and co. That is what they can do. But later, he did the best. He did his best. That is why we all anybody at 60, 80 now. That's why they go public primary and secondary school. Whichever again did that. See what this stupid Molams, see what they did now. They make sure they turn the school to the government school and ruin everything.
Ruined everything
in West. See how they ruin everything, including everything that Awolowo did. So all those people doing the UPN, they try, and all the West is well okay. We have first TV in all Africa. Even we get TV before the France.
That's right.
We have the best.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you short. Really sorry to cut you short. There, right? So what happened is, I think what my contributor was saying back then was that every good ideas, every beautiful dreams, and good work that Pa Awolowo did, they were easily rubbished because even if they didn't see why, even if he didn't see why we should break away from Nigeria and go the India-Pakistan way, right? That somebody raised the alarm. You know, sometimes you don't know everything, right? So when somebody raised an alarm and say, maybe that person saw the future of where we are today, right? But again, it wasn't like rubbishing what Awolowo did. It was just like that singular move could have saved us all of this today. You know what I mean now? But again, you have your position on that.
I give kudos to those Papa Awolowo and all these people working with him there. See how Tinubu that Awolowo raised, see what he's doing. See how he turned all the Lagos state to his own.
Personal property.
I have somewhere in Lagos that I have a shop since 1979. He took over the place. That is Apapa Amusement Park. Maybe they might have taken you there. Anywhere from Botibat or Lagos, from Benin, people are bringing children every Christmas by this Christmas period.
Amusement Park.
All the children we born after that place, they have become grandma
today.
So see, he turned that place to his own after the man that get that place dead. He said he already bought it. Because the Lagos State didn't sell the land for the man. They give the man the land on what they call it? What do they call it?
What's that?
So Tinubu turned the place to his own till now.
And what did they build on that? What did they build there now? What did they build there now?
He brought the Chinese. He brought the Chinese to bring another new some equipment, join the one that was there,
right.
And they started using it again at Papa Amusement Park.
They just took it.
That is where they take children go during the Christmas, Easter, all the festivals. That is where they carry children go.
Right. So what they did was
that
they took it away from Jews, yeah?
That place supposed, even though if that man died, he doesn't have children. It's supposed to be the Lagos State property.
Not Tinubu's property.
But now it's Tinubu's property.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Let me take one more call just before we round it up tonight. Okay. Thank you so much for calling in, and you have a good good evening.
I have something for you, but I've never sent it. I will send it. Maybe I send it through Koiki. I have something.
Thank you.
This is our Yoruba Nation Slovenia. I have it for you.
That's amazing. If I can get
I'm trying to
hands on them, it will be great.
Send it to Koiki.
Koiki will get it to me. Yeah, he will get it to me.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you so much, sir.
Koiki will send it to you. Thank you. All right.
You have a good one. So I have one more call. Let me take one last call. Just enough now, okay, before we round it up. Hello.
Yeah, Maiyegun, good evening, sir.
Good evening to you, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, Maiyegun. Thanks for the good job you're doing, Maiyegun.
Thanks you. Thanks so much.
Maiyegun, one thing I want to say about this, our leaders, like what the second to the previous caller said, we are giving them too much respect without expecting it back from them. So they think it's entitlement. If anybody, all we're saying is respect, but we never go to dictionary to define what is the meaning of respect.
And it should be.
So yes, and we keep. This is what is putting us down. Everyday respect. Everyday respect. The elderly one you're respecting doesn't know that respect is reciprocal. He should give it back. And why will you be respecting somebody that doesn't give a damn about you? For what reason? To achieve what? Because he's older than you. Then you will be respecting him. That's all. Somebody that wants you dead and you keep respect, you keep lying down for him because he's older than you. I don't get it. Look at what we are doing now. Look at go together now this December. All this America, let me use that language. All these slaves in America, Holland, in UK, all of them are going together for Christmas. You want to tell me that if they have Yoruba nation, Biafra nation, that all these people that have link with Yoruba every Christmas, would they come back home? Do you know how much revenue Yoruba will be getting every time they come?
I can only
that
imagine.
one alone will run the country. But we keep doing this one Nigeria. Look at Obasanjo sitting there with Gumi. What level, what category of relationship or friendship Obasanjo has with Gumi to sit down one place and start talking about future of people? I don't get it, Maiyegun.
It is what it is. You know what people do tell me. They said that Maiyegun, we don't know how you are surviving it because we bet that you actually think a lot about Nigeria before you come on your programs and all that. They are thinking about Nigeria is affecting their mental health and is affecting other things that they stop thinking about Nigeria completely. How do you do it? And I just saw that frustration there now when you kept talking. You got to a point and you felt like, oh man, like, yeah.
Anytime I talk about Nigeria, at some point you will see that I'm losing voice. I will start getting. It's like I'm so annoyed. Like it can be.
You are not alone.
You can never talk about it, but that is why Maiyegun, I respect you so much, especially you among all these people broadcasting, because your things is always constructive. You calm down. And sometimes I would be wondering, but I know it's a gift anyway, because honestly, I call you John the Baptist from the beginning. Because the way you're giving the name, I say, no, this Maiyegun is baptizing them.
Some people don't like it. And like you said, they said I'm disrespecting them. Too much respect, Baba. Too much respect.
Maiyegun, if we never define what is respect, then we will keep... we need to Maiyegun. Enough is enough, man. For how long we respect? What do we achieve? Nothing. This time, no. It's enough.
Thank you
so
much.
Keep the fire burning, Maiyegun. Anybody that doesn't listen, any deaf and dumb will later hear you. Believe me.
Because if we have to use sign language, my brother, we will use it. Trust me. Whatever it will take until everybody comes to that conclusion that, oh boy, let's not get the message. We need to act. Until then, Baba, if you require sign language to come here and say, we'll go do them. I go learn now. Thank you so much for your time. Right?
I know you can do it. I know you can do it. I know your best is here to come.
So much.
Believe me.
I know. Thank you.
Because believe me. Thank you a lot anyway.
You have a good evening. And one thing you left out of
Yeah.
this whole beautiful roundup tonight is your name. And I know probably that's on purpose. I would love to know your name again before you go.
My name is Bob from Amsterdam.
Bob from Amsterdam. Guys from Amsterdam are kind of different breed, but the story is not for today, not for another day. Bob, you have a good evening. All right. Thank you so much for your time, and to everyone as well. I'm gonna say thank you. It's been a nice. I told you it's gonna be interesting if I open the line, but time is not on our side. Some will say, Maiyegun, why can't you just stay on? Do you know that in Nigeria right now is 12? It's already 12 o'clock midnight. In where else? So let's round it up from here, okay? Obasanjo has spoken his mind. You should respect and know that. You shouldn't, by any means, be dissuaded or detached from the right thing that we all ask for: equality, fairness, justice. Where there is justice, right, there will be less strife, there will be less problem. Or if those who are saddled with that responsibility continue to make it a choice of milking it, monetizing it, then turning around because of their selfishness to tell us to endure it, live with it, it won't last long. Same thing they told our parent. They told your parent. They told my parent that Nigeria will be better one day. Nigeria go better. Nigeria go better. Some of us don't become parents now. The same guys are positioning themselves because they care for us. They care about our future. When I was a little boy, the future they were talking about. When you grow up, when you become man of yourself, you, this boy, Sheyi, you see all this, you are not listening. When you grow up, when you become man of yourself, you will realize this and that. Baba, I don't become man of myself. I don't grow up now. I realize that among other lies they told me that I'm the future leader. Trust me, even in me right now, with the way Nigeria is structured, I no get future to any leadership there. You know it too. We all know it too. But they lied to me. Are you going to let them lie to your children? So if Obasanjo says Yoruba nation is not him, he's right. But for Obasanjo to say you should feel same because of Nigeria, you should question that. And if you have been so kind of packed, cut off, you know, like a bonga fish, dry bonga fish that can no longer be straightened up, but they use your brain. Don't pass that symptom to your children. Don't make your children face what you are facing right now. In 20 years' time, they are going to be parents too. And when they become parents, they will have half of their life, if not more than half of their life, trying to figure it out. Waiting the shell. Which country be this? How did I find myself in Nigeria? Just like many youth are figuring it out, and they can't find the answer. In that rubbish, in that midst, the leaders who brought us to that level, they can't take us out of it. Liberate your mind, clear your mind. If they say Nigeria is not working, we know why. And they start with the fake constitution you have. If that still exists, that gives give a tyrannical power to criminals, as long as they grab the center, it doesn't matter where they come from. Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, though some will say, Maiyegun, no, they talk like that. Igbo man never become elected president. So if you they count them, no, they count Igbo. I agree with you. So we can say we never know what an Igbo president would do, which is true. You have never elected an Igbo president. So fine. But you have elected Igbo governors many times. Can you pick any one of them that you think, this one, if you go to this state, you go to say, the Nigeria. Yes. It is that same product that they will give to you on a larger scale than Nigerianness. That's Nigerianness. That's one Nigeria. Oneness of Nigeria. The choice is yours, whichever one that works for you. Some are demanding for referendum. Others are demanding for an immediate constitutional change, which will allow room and give room to everything that should be legal. Everything they illegalize will be legal. For example, if you insult the president like I do, that's treasonable. If Malamu and gang capture me, if they grab me right now as a person of interest, but not treason, now shoot aside. Trust me, if a wrong day, then take my take my fight to Buhari and gang with the way the fraudulent 1999 constitution empower these criminals, for insulting Buhari, now death by hanging. Imagine somebody puts rope for my neck because I insulted Tinubu, I insulted Buhari, or so they feel like I insulted Obasanjo and the rest. That's the judgment too. It is because that fraudulent paper allowed them to do it. People are asking for different things. All you can tell in this is that Nigeria is not working. Those who made that happen, they had so kind of resistance to change. If you believe them for whatever they say, that blood that is keeping it together for now, that is making them who they are now, that flowing blood is the blood of the innocent people you read about every now and then. You don't know their name, but they tell you they die, they get killed anyway. But since it's not you, it's not one of you, you have no idea. But it's all up to you. Obasanjo does not speak for me. And I bet he doesn't speak for the majority of the Yoruba people as well. Same thing with Tinubu, right? These guys don't speak for anyone but themselves. You believe them at your own peril. At your own expense, in your own peril. So thank you so much, friends. We have almost 2,000 of us on YouTube tonight, quite a number. But we only have about 600 of you who could say, Maiyegun, well done. You know what? YouTube, they've removed the dislike button. I don't know why, but they said some YouTubers, they give them mental health wahala. Because if they realize that after putting all the effort, after speaking glowingly, some people can't, they put down. They say they affect Onyibo mental health. But you know me, nothing they affect my mental health anymore. Thinking about Nigeria alone makes you know that before anything else will rubbish your brain and make you get mental health problem, you must have been through a hell other than that of Nigeria. But that of Nigeria can make you get ready. So listen, there's no dislike button there anymore, okay? You can still give a thumb up. Like that video. And then I'm going to see you some other time. Subscribe on that YouTube channel if you can, and on my Facebook pages as well. Like, share, and comment. I'm going to see you some other time. So good night to you all.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Presidency bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Tí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkan ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o ákàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.